that. Had to get the computer to work. Randy, you were almost having to run this meeting tonight, huh?
I've started to break into a sweat.
All right, are we ready to go, Julie? We're good?
I believe so, yes, sir. I think, Camille, you got the recorder on, correct?
I did my job this evening. I turned on the recorder.
I feel so
All right.
bad. Thank you.
Oh, no worries. It's my pleasure.
Okay, we're good? We're good, Julie? All right. I call to order the Justice Committee. Julie, you want to do roll call?
Sure. Member Martin,
Present.
Member Went,
Present.
Member Schaefer,
Here.
Member Chung,
Present.
Member Smith,
Present.
Member Beer,
Present.
and Chairman Erickson.
Here. All right, first item on the agenda is approval of the minutes. We have the December 15th, 2020 special meeting minutes. Can I have a motion to approve? Motion by Member Chung, second by Member Schaefer. Any additions or corrections to those minutes? All right, hearing none. I guess I got to do roll call. I should have taken them together. All right, the December 15th minutes, Julie, do roll call.
So we're just doing December 15th?
Can I do them both? I mean, do we need to do a roll call for both? Let's
You
do,
can do
You'll do both if you take them separate.
all right, let's do them both. The January 5th, 2021 regular meeting minutes. Can I have a motion to approve? A motion by Member Chung, a second by Member Beer. Any addition or corrections to those minutes? All right, hearing none. Julie, you can take roll. Move us
Member
along.
Member Went,
Yes.
Member Schaefer,
Yes.
Member Chung,
Yes.
Member Smith,
Yes.
Member Beer,
Yes.
Member Martin,
Yes.
Chairman Erickson, will you be voting?
Yes, I'm voting yes.
Thank you.
All right. The next item on the agenda is appearance by members of the public. County Administrator Rodriguez, do we have anybody?
It was my understanding, yes, that we did, and I believe Mr. Spanos was going to be the reader of said letter this evening. So, Mr. Spanos, I turn it over to you, sir.
Thank you. The following comments appear not to violate our rules on decorum, but at the request of the sheriff, I will read this comment in its entirety. I dance gleefully in the tears of authority fetishists, thanks to the passage of Police Reform Bill, House Bill 3653. Thank the Almighty Holy Buddha. This bill abolishes cash bail in 2 years and institutes a number of other important changes to provide some modicum of accountability for policing. Now I have a feeling that the perpetually perfidious Sheriff Sandwich has been heavily hydrating himself in preparation for what I can only imagine will be the delusional lamentations of the prevaricator and chief. I truly feel bad for any board member that dares ask a question Sandwich doesn't like. Make sure you have a bunch of participation trophies for every question. Otherwise, the sheriff will get all triggered about how everyone is so unfair to his staff. Some of these guards are making over 100 with overtime, which is a heck of a lot more than most government employees. I feel like the best thanks you can give someone is the compensation we already give them for their labor. But no, that's not good enough for Sheriff Sandwich. Just like the huge loser Trump, any question he doesn't like is unfair and wah, wah, wah. Seriously, cry us a river, why don't you? On an unrelated note, I deserve a raise. No, not me. I'm talking about the person speaking. That person doing the speaking deserves a raise for all their hard work. And also, you should greatly increase the compensation of the staff who run the sheriff's records department. Without them, the county would not be able to fulfill the records requests that are essential to transparent government. So give them a raise and hire an extra person while you're at it. Because I file a lot of FOIAs, and I know that they are burdensome, and we all know I'm not going to stop. So for the love of the almighty holy Buddha, help these hard workers out. But I digress. I'm sure Sheriff Sandwich will tell you some anecdotal straw man account like cash bail abolition in New York. But what he won't tell you is we aren't just getting rid of cash bail, but we're replacing it with our methods that have been proven in places to be better than cash bail, like New Jersey and Washington, D.C. But with people like Sheriff Sandwich, they choose feelings over facts. Well, sorry, not sorry, but in the real world, facts don't care about your feelings. Make no mistake, I tell you, the main reason Sheriff Sandwich is mad about getting cash bail is because he's all about them Benjamins, yo. He likes making that cash, that paper, that cheddar cheese. Cash rules everything around me. Cream. Get the money. Dollar bills, y'all. Bling, bling. He's a mean, green, moldy sandwich making machine. That's upset he can't continue to profit off of human misery. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the propaganda. Love and liberation. Zachary, Gittrich. Those are the only things that I have, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you. All right, the next item on the agenda is item 4A1A. Request approval of an intergovernmental agreement between the state of Illinois, Illinois Criminal Justice Information Authority, and McLean County. Can I have a motion? A motion by member Schaefer, a second by member Smith. Ms. Evans, would you like to discuss that first?
Sure. Hello. This is a grant for our CASA program through ICEJA. This was the first year that in the past 3 years that it has been a competitive grant. So we wrote for it, and of the 28 CASA programs throughout the state, we were one of 12 that received funding. So it's a big grant. It covers a portion of all 4 CASA staff, salary and fringe, and some contractual. So we're very excited that we got this funding. It's going to allow us to do some great things.
Okay, do you have any questions of Ms. Evans or any comments? All right, seeing none, roll call, and we'll be voting.
Thank you. Member Went,
Yes.
Member Schaefer,
Yes.
Member Chung,
Yes.
Member Smith,
Yes.
Member Beer,
Yes.
Member Martin,
Yes.
Chairman Erickson.
Yes. All right, thank you. The next item on the agenda is item 4A1B, request approval of a contract for services between DeWitt County Community Mental Health Board and the Children's Advocacy Center. And can I have a motion? I have a motion by member Martin, a second by member Chung. Ms. Evans, would you like to discuss that?
Sure. We've been receiving this grant for several years through the DeWitt County 708 Mental Health Board. Essentially, this grant covers our rent and utilities at our DeWitt County satellite office. It also pays for a little bit of staff development and supplies for our full-time therapist that also travels to DeWitt County.
All right, do we have any questions of Ms. Evans or comments or discussion? All right, seeing none, the chairman will vote. Roll call.
Member Went,
Yes.
Member Schaefer,
Yes.
Member Chung,
Yes.
Member Smith,
Yes.
Member Beer,
Yes.
Member Martin,
Yes.
Chairman Erickson.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Evans. Her general report can be found on pages 107, 110. Does anybody have any questions of her about her report? All right, seeing none. Next item on the agenda is item B1A. We have no items for action. B2A, we have the monthly statistical report. Does anybody have any questions of Sheriff Sandage? Member Chung.
Yes, thank you, Chairman Erickson, and hi, Sheriff Sandage. My question, I guess, is now that we have entered into this new vaccination group 1B, I know that that correctional staff is involved in this, I guess, in this group, and I'd seen some talk about possibly inmates being in this group as well, and I can't seem to find any more information about it, so I was wondering if you were willing to share, I guess, two things. Number one, how is your staff doing in terms of vaccinating, getting vaccines? And I guess number two, if you have plans for vaccinating the population. And I guess that's it. So thank you.
Well, that's a fair question. As far as what phase the inmates will be vaccinated in, I believe it was Governor Pritzker that chose that Illinois Department of Corrections inmates would be vaccinated in 1B. Technically, I think there should be in 1C, and that's the phase that we will look at vaccinating in. Inmates, much like employees, we cannot make them take the vaccination, but we will make it available for all that do want it.
And I guess, do you have an idea of like the percentage of your staff that have possibly maybe gone to get vaccinated? And I don't know, I know that you're trying to encourage them, and I don't know if there's any sort of incentivizing, but I know that this is has been a big concern throughout the entire nation, of people living in these sort of congregate settings, and since you are quarantining inmates when they come in for 14 days, that they're not the ones that are bringing in. It's of course the staff that could be possibly bringing in. But I know that you have these protocols in place for people not coming into work if they're sick and to get tested if they don't feel well. But of course, to me, that seems like if that's the point of it possibly getting into the population. So I guess whatever you and your other staff can do to sort of encourage everybody to get it, I guess I hope that you can. And I also want to say, I really do only ask fair questions. So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, like I said, we cannot make the vaccination mandatory. We have encouraged staff and let them know when the signups and the dates are, and then we leave it in their hands. But again, once phase 1C comes along and inmates are eligible, we will make that available to all of them.
All right, any other questions of the sheriff? Member Smith?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sheriff Sandage, going back to the Department of Corrections, is there still a backlog of transfers, or have they started accepting transfers?
It's hit and miss. Currently, we have 52 inmates that are supposed to be in the Department of Corrections that are still housed with us because they are not accepting them on a regular basis. We typically get a 1 or 2 day notice when they're going to accept and how many they're going to accept. But in the past week and a half to 2 weeks, we have not been able to take any. So like I said, there's 52 inmates here that should be in the Department of Corrections.
Thank you.
Any other questions of Sheriff Sandage? All right, seeing none. Thank you, Sheriff Sandage. John? I say yeah.
Okay, thank you, Chairman Erickson. Sorry. I guess I also have one other question. I know that since the pandemic happened, I know that you were doing, I guess I was just wanting an update on the confinement, the sort of solitary confinement, or is that what you're calling it? I guess of what the population have a sort of lockdown, how many hours they've been doing it. And I guess, are you trying to, I guess you would be probably going by whatever recommendations by the state gives, but have you looked into possibly, as now people are getting more vaccinated, of trying to relax those restrictions now?
Oh, we eventually will. But as of right now, we don't want to take any steps that might cause an outbreak. So we're taking every precaution possible at this point. They are in their cells 23 hours a day. Yeah, we will continue that until we can get reassurance that through vaccination or other methods that's it won't cause us any problems.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions of Sheriff Sandage? All right, seeing none, thank you, Sheriff Sandage.
Thank you.
All right, the next item on the agenda is item C. There's no items for action, but there is the monthly report, item C2A. Does anybody have any questions of our county coroner, Kathy Yoder? All right, seeing none, thank you, Coroner Yoder.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is item D. There are no items presented for action, but there is item 2A. The state's attorney's report. Any questions for state's attorney Knapp? All right, seeing none. Thank you, state's attorney Knapp. Next item on the agenda is item E. There's no items presented for action, but there is a report, item 2A. Does anybody have any questions of the director, Mike Donovan? All right, seeing none, we'll move on. Thank you, Mr. Donovan.
Thank you much. Have a good night.
I believe that on the next item on the agenda is item F. I believe Mr. Everhart was unable to make the meeting, but item, was it 4F? 4F2 has the statistical reports. Does anybody have any questions that the county administrator might be able to answer? All right, seeing none, we'll move on. The next item on the agenda is item 4G1A, request approval of position reclassification request. This is an item for action. Can I have a motion to approve? I have a motion by member Martin, a second by member Beer. I see, let me see, I saw them on there. I see Ron Lewis on there. Is that Carla? Hi, Carla. I see the public defender on there. Do you have any questions?
This is 6 foot distance I'm trying to maintain.
Do you have any questions of our public defender? Anything you'd like to add, Carla, on that?
Just on this, This is pretty much equivalent to an OSF2 in the state's attorney's office. This is from Mary Meyer, who's been in my office for over 18 years. She's not only the entire office manager, but she's my assistant as well. She helps me with budget and every other aspect in the office. So if ever I have a shining moment, it's because Mary Meyer has made sure that I was overly prepped, that all my I's are dotted and my T's were crossed. This is someone who stays often to 7 o'clock at night to make sure my reports are done. And with me leaving the office, you guys know how I feel about being chief public defender. I love it. We can't risk losing someone who is so pivotal to the ongoing operation. So that's why I'm requesting this reclass. Mary's pretty.
Sorry, did I get a motion on that, Julie? Did I get a motion and a second on that? I did. All right.
I have Martin and Beers.
Questions? Any comments or questions of the public to the public defender?
It's not necessarily a question for Ms. Barnes, but more along the lines to the county administrator on this type of thing. I don't question the request or anything like that, but is this going to set up some precedents that we don't want to necessarily say, you know, every time somebody wants to get another job and they've been around for a long time to reclass their position. I'm just kind of want a little bit more clarification on that.
If I may, Chairman Erickson, we've discussed in county administration being considering implementing and bringing to the county board to implement policies relative to this. It comes up occasionally, and we know that across the board, our salary structure within county government is not necessarily always competitive. Transparently, we've discussed in many committees, perhaps needing to do salary studies and adjusting. But in all, two answers to that, Member Schaefer. We are looking into what we could do if in fact employees want to go to another employer, but their performance evaluations have been highly rated and they are a valuable part of our operations. What could we do to keep them? But we've also talked about, and this is not to say we are against Ms. Barnes's recommendation here, but we also know that it is challenging at best to bring these types of things from 25 departments outside of the budget process during May, June, and July. So we are going to strongly encourage in the future that department heads perhaps utilize, if we make a policy change, to keep employees like Ms. Barnes is trying to do, that we do the rest of the position classification solely during the budget process unless there's emergency circumstances. So in all, what I will say is, because personnel policies are in code, it takes us a bit longer to be agile and to change them because we have to come to the board, and we're very happy to do that. And I think in the future, you're going to see county administration bring some policy and process changes to be discussed and hopefully approved so that we have some more structure around this process for you and for us and for department heads. I hope that's helpful.
Yes, thank you. That was my question.
Good.
I'd just like to add that from an equity standpoint, the state's attorney's office has, I believe, several of these OSF2s, and this is my one and only. So from an equitable point of view, and they're in the light position, so.
All right, any other questions or comments? All right, seeing none, we'll go ahead and take roll call, Julie. And Chairman will be voting.
Thank you. Member Wendt. Member Wendt. Member Schaefer.
Yes.
Member Chung.
Yes.
Member Smith,
Yes.
Member Beer,
Yes.
Member Martin,
Yes.
Member Went. Did you want to vote on this one?
If you can hear us, member Went, you could do a thumbs up for yes or a thumbs down for no, and we will note it appropriately if you can hear us.
I don't know that he can hear us. Chairman Erickson, and your vote on this?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. I see that George is going to vote. All right. Next item on the agenda is item 4G2A. It's the report of the public defender. Does anybody have any questions or comments to Carla about the report? Member Chung.
It's not a question about a report, but I just want to say hi and good luck to to Miss Barnes. I guess the next time we see you in person, you'll be Judge Barnes, which is really cool.
Yes.
So
Yes.
thank you for everything that you've done. There will be some really big, amazing shoes to fill for what you've done to the Public Defender's Office. So I just wanted to give appreciation of thanks for everything you've done. And you know, and then yeah, when I get to see you next time, I'm gonna say, "How you doing, Judge?" That'll be really exciting.
It will be.
Here.
Here. Thank you all so much. The last 6.5 years that I've been Chief Public Defender, I loved working with the county board. I loved our county board meetings when we were meeting live. I enjoyed going over across the street and seeing everybody. I enjoyed working with Bill Wasson, and then when Camille took over. So I wouldn't have been able to be the success that I think the Public Defender's Office is without the county board, the county administration, and then working with, you know, John Sanders, the way I've worked with him in the last 6.5 years, as well as Don Knapp. So thank you all so much. This is my baby, this office. I've loved it. I've always said I have the best job in the county, and I'm just going on to do something else. I'm going to help people in another way, but I hope to have a huge impact on people in the 11th Judicial Circuit. So thank you so much.
All right. Any other questions or congratulations or any other comments to Carla? Member Schaefer?
I just hope whomever is your replacement is as positive and smiling all the time, no matter what they're having to deal with in their office, and how well you have represented those people that need the Public Defender's Office, and how you really stand up for those people.
Thank you so much.
Anyone else? I just want, Carla, you can still go out for boneless wings and curly fries at Jim's Steakhouse from time to time with us lawyers. If you should find the occasion to do so. So I thought I'd add that in there. That's all I'm going to say. Anybody else have anything else I'd like to add? All right, we'll go on to the next item on the agenda.
You can go ahead.
All right, the next item on the agenda is item 4H1A. Request approval of an emergency appropriation ordinance amending the McLean County fiscal year 2020 combined annual appropriation and budget ordinance asset forfeiture fund 0152. And can I have a motion to accept? I have a motion by member Chung, a second by member Schaefer. Does anyone have, well, County Administrator Rodriguez, would you like to address that?
Thank you, Chairman Erickson. I can just say briefly, for a very high level explanation, this action helps us document the funds that were utilized out of asset forfeiture, some supplies that our state's attorney used for employees at the onset of the pandemic. And then later we were able to get reimbursed through the Cures Act money. And so what we wanted to do, and we normally do not, inside the budget process, document, well, we do document, but we don't report to you on the asset forfeiture dollars. But in this case, because of our utilization of the cures allotment, we wanted to provide full accounting of what was purchased. And this was a great action by our state's attorney to support his employees who needed to work remotely throughout this entire pandemic. So that's what this is about.
All right, any comments or questions or discussion? All right, saying none, roll call, and the chairman will be voting.
Member Went. He's hearing me. Member Went, can you hear me? I don't think he's hearing me. Member Schaefer.
Yes.
Member Chung.
Yes.
Member Smith.
Yes.
Member Beer.
Yes.
Member Martin.
Yes.
Chairman Erickson.
Yes. All right, the next item on the agenda is item 4H1B. Request approval of an emergency appropriation ordinance amending the McLean County fiscal year 2020 combined annual appropriation and budget ordinance for the coroner, Children's Advocacy Center, and Law Library and State's Attorney. And can I have a motion to approve? I have a motion by member Martin, a second by member Smith. County Administrator Rodriguez, do you have any comments?
No comments, Chairman Erickson, other than just to restate the memo, the cover memo. This is end of year cleanup. It's pretty common for us to bring these types of actions to you this time of year. And so if there's a deeper dive on questions, we'll work to answer those. But this is pretty par for the course.
All right, any comments, questions, or discussion? All right, seeing none, roll call, Julie, and the chairman will be voting.
I'll try again, although I'm getting a text message. Oh, okay. I may be getting a text message from George. I don't think he can still hear us. Member Schaefer.
Yes.
Member Chung.
Yes.
Member Smith.
Yes.
Member Beer.
Yes.
Member Martin.
Yes.
Chairman Erickson.
Yes. All right. Okay. Next item on the agenda is item 4H1C, request approval of a letter of engagement with MPG Management Consultants. And can I have a motion to approve? A motion by member Smith, a second by member Schaefer. County Administrator Rodriguez, do you have any comments?
I'll be brief because the cover memo hopefully covers most of the details that you might have had questions about. In all, our team, a multidisciplinary team of many members of county government, including the judiciary, are ready to move forward in this next phase of this Aegis project. And an RFP, a request for proposals, is the next step. So we'd be happy to dive deeper, but I know we wrote what we hope is a fairly good summary cover memo of where we were and what the next phase is. And I just humbly request your support on this.
All right, any comments, questions, or discussion? All right, seeing none, roll call, and the chairman will be voting.
Thank you. And yes, George is having technical difficulties and hasn't been able to resolve them as far as being able to talk, obviously. Member Schaefer.
Yes.
Member Chung.
Yes.
Member Smith.
Yes.
Member Beer,
Yes.
Member Martin,
Yes.
Chairman Erickson.
Yes. All right, the next item is item 4H2A, report on employment activities. County Administrator Rodriguez.
As usual, each month that report is included in your packet. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have about that report. Thank you.
Any questions? All right, seeing none, we'll go on to the next item. The next item is item 5, other business and communication. Does anybody have anything? Seeing none. Next item is item 6, recommend payment of bills and transfers, if any, to the county board. I'm going to separate these two. We're going to do bills as one and then transfers as one. So the first item will be bills. Bills in the amount of $605,341.68. I have a letter here from the county auditor saying that she has reviewed the bills and that they're all in compliance. And I have a motion to approve the bills. A motion by member Chung, a second by member Smith. Any comments or questions? Julie, roll call, and the chairman will be voting.
Thank you. Member Schaefer,
Yes.
Member Chung,
Yes.
Member Smith,
Yes.
Member Beer,
Yes.
Member Martin,
Yes.
Chairman Erickson.
Yes. Next item on the agenda is item 6, transfers. Those transfers can be found in your packet on pages 168 through 175. I'm not going to go through them, but the transfers are in the packet and they're on pages 168 through 175. Can I have a motion to approve? I have a motion by member Schaefer, a second by member Chung. Any comments or questions? That's good enough way to handle those transfers, isn't it, County Administrator Rodriguez? Do I need to?
Yes, Chairman Erickson, it's congruent with past actions in other committees, and I support your approach.
Okay, thank you. All right, roll call, and the chairman will be voting.
Member Schaefer,
Yes.
Member Chung,
Yes.
George, can you hear me? Okay. Member Smith?
Yeah.
Member Beer?
Yes.
Member Martin?
Yes.
Chairman Erickson.
Yes. They've always said the Justice Committee is the fun committee. I mean, let's just be, we are the fun committee, so let's just, I think there's nothing else on the agenda. I guess we're adjourned. I don't have to take a motion for that, do I? We're adjourned. All right. Thank you. All right. Bye.